Hey guys, Martin here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a look at the EZA for the AGL Cell Juniors. These guys could certainly be an interesting addition for an artificial lifeforms team, especially when the anniversary comes around for Global and we get that Beast Gohan mission. Obviously they are now out on JP as well, so if you had trouble with that mission and still haven't beaten it, these guys could certainly be interesting for that team. Now, very similarly to the 16, they only have like one 200% lead, which is AGL Cell, who's not particularly meta relevant anymore. So we've got them at full level 10 links. I haven't touched their hidden potential since, you know, before they got their EZA. So I may have to redo. I'll probably just use orbs if I wanted to balance it out in a different way. But for their super attack effect, they raise attack and defense in 1 turn, supreme damage and lower attack and defense. There are still some events where attack lowering can be very useful, especially early on. And then they get attack and defense 150, additional attack and defense 30%, and chance to dodge 10% per artificial lifeforms character on the team. So for this showcase in particular, I am running the AGL Cell 200% team, but I'm running all artificial lifeforms. So we have the full team. That means there are 7 of them on the team. So they get 210% extra attack and defense and a 70% chance to dodge from that passive. They give artificial lifeforms allies 3 key and 30% attack and defense. They launch an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super, and then they get a guaranteed additional super and change key spears of a certain type, AGL and int excluded, to rainbow when your team has a cell perfect form or perfect cell attacking in the same turn. So we do have a cell perfect form on the turn here, so they are going to get an additional super. One of the things that's weird about this unit, and always has been, is they released as the banner unit for this guy, and they share 1 link with him. So that's a choice. But we'll see how we get on here. We've got the 16. Actually, I should probably float off the 16 just because I just noticed the other int 16 is in slot 7. So they do have 300k defense start of turn. They're going to get 30% on super from their super attack effect. And they do have the 70% chance to dodge. I mean, on a full artificial lifeforms team, they are basically a mini extreme UI Goku, which is kind of funny. So let's see how we get on here. We're going to get supered immediately and not dodge. So that's a good start. 326. But of course we dodged the normal attack straight afterwards. So 4.3 million on the attack. We are going to get a additional from their passive that has a chance to become a super, which did not. But then we have a cell on the rotation, so we're going to get a guaranteed additional super. And then, of course, we have the chance to get their hidden potential. As they've already attacked 3 times, there's 3 separate chances to activate, which it did, but only as a normal attack. So they got 30% defense raised twice. Of course, they dodged every attack on the rotation except for the super attack, because of course they did. So, of course, that's the kind of thing that can happen if you take them into the Beast Gohan Artificial Lifeforms mission when it comes out, and then they just get you immediately killed, which is a bit awkward. So just like I said with the 16 showcase, I wanted to show them on a 200% team just so we can see what their numbers are, but AGL Cell is their only 200% leader. So when it comes time to do that artificial lifeforms mission, I severely doubt anyone is going to be running AGL Cell, right? Because probably not going to go very well for you. I kind of want to take damage here, right? Because if I can get the if we can be under the HP threshold for the next turn, I shouldn't have grabbed the AGL orbs with you. Yeah, it's a bit much. As I said, we could have got the int cell transformation, which would have been kind of interesting here for the duration of the event. So I mean, the thing is, it seems very clear from just seeing even their start of turn stats and everything, they are going to be a character that you're going to float on the team as a support unit. Obviously, we put them in slot 1 on that previous rotation, which we would not be doing normally, because they are getting the defense raise on super. They don't get anything else from their passive on super attack effect or anything like that. So we're just getting what you see on the stats like here, and then we get 30% defense raise with each super attack. So I mean, we get 100k. Like, if they get 2 supers, they're around 500k defense. I mean, that's not terrible, but that means for at least for now for global, right, they're going to be tanking most normal attacks. But any of these big boss super attacks, if they're not dodging, then that's not going to be ideal, right? So So of course now we're going to end up dropping below 40% HP. We could probably work this so that we can get Cell to come back around and get the heal, but it's going to be a couple of turns now until he's back on the rotation. But yeah, 4.3 on the attack. I mean, considering they're largely relying on dodge for the majority of their defense, definitely not the craziest attacks. But again, like, they want to be run with a Cell to a certain extent, right? Because getting that additional super is really helpful. But only sharing the one link with him is pretty dire. In fact, their best link partner... Who are their best link partners? I have the list up here, actually. I didn't load it up when I looked before the showcase. But AGL Cell second form and STR second form Cell, they share 4 links. They share 4 links with Janembas. They share 4 links with the STR GT17s, which is interesting. And then they also share 4 links with Raditz, which is an interesting one. So when it comes to Android, I mean, the AGL Cell, once he's transformed up to perfect, or even as first form, they share 3 links. But yeah, I mean, that is a kind of a weird part of their kit. Like, if you're going to run them on an Artificial Lifeforms team primarily for the support, you are probably going to get into a lot of situations where they're not having a lot of links active, which is a little bit awkward. So we'll do this. Hopefully that 16 does get his guard active, because we do have the full Android/Cell Saga rotation. If not, then I was going to say we should be fine as long as we don't get supered, but he does have the guard active here. How much HP does Cell have left now? Not a crazy amount, but we are a little bit above 400k, 40% from 400k, above 400% HP here. So depending on who, if anyone, does get hit by a super, this STR second form Cell will be a really interesting EZA, especially with him sharing links with the Cell Juniors, because he supports extreme Android/Cell Saga characters. So obviously he will be supporting the Cell Juniors, which is one of the reasons why I brought him on the team. Like, this team very much is just here so we can see like the best numbers from the Cell Juniors, because this team is just like half the units on this team are not viable for actual difficult content. It's kind of just to see how well these guys can perform. So now we actually have 4 links active. So Brutal Beatdown, Shocking Speed, Nightmare, and Fierce Battle is what they have with this AGL second form Cell. So now we're at 315k defense start of turn. I mean, it's not exactly a crazy jump up in numbers, is it? So if I do this, we are going to get the transformation with Int Cell on the next turn. This 16 now has his damage reduction fully built up. But remember, they only get this buff from their passive if you have a perfect Cell or like Cell brackets perfect form. So first form Cell or second form Cell don't give them that extra buff. But you can see here with some actual links active, their attack stat jumps up, right? 5.4 million, that's much better. But of course we wouldn't be getting a guaranteed additional because we didn't have the perfect Cell. But I mean, that's a little bit better. If they're doing like 3 of those, because without a Cell, they can still get the one from their passive that has a chance to become a super, and then the hidden potential. So I think you probably, with these guys, you're largely going to be running them for the support, I think. And especially like when it comes to trying to do that Artificial Lifeforms mission. So I think realistically, even with a 70% chance to dodge, I mean, you saw we didn't dodge that one big super attack when it really counted. So honestly, giving them like a full dodge build, I think is probably not the worst. Because yeah, my pre-EZA build is 14 additional, 9 crit, and then 3 dodge. They don't have any crit chance in their passive whatsoever. So I mean, you probably don't want them to give them no crit, but I suppose again, if you're putting them on the team for them to be a support unit, they're not there to do damage, right? So it's not the end of the world if they're not doing crits. But I don't know, it's an interesting one when it comes to thinking about their hidden potential. I feel like one of the best ways, if you're going to use them at any point, it really is going to be as an Artificial Lifeforms support unit. So I probably will. I'm not going to change, like, use stones or anything to change their hidden potential, but as they have a bit of additional already, I'll probably just give them, like, all dodge equips, right, just to get as much extra dodge on there as possible. Because whilst it's calculated separately, like, a bit of extra dodge chance to maybe save them if that 70% chance doesn't go off, I think is probably going to be good. Because, yeah, like I say, they'll be there for the support. They'll be floating. I mean, that artificial lifeforms team, it'll be very interesting to see what the post-anniversary version of that team looks like with them as a floating support. Because obviously Buhan got his EZA on JP already, and he's a bit of a monster, the physical LR. So him getting all of that support from the Cell Juniors as well certainly would be quite interesting. But we'll see how we go. So we've got the second form Cell with the support here. So we have 325 start of turn. Although again, we don't have a perfect Cell of any variety, so no extra part of their passive here. But 16 doesn't do crazy damage, so we should see the Cell Juniors actually get an opportunity to do a few attacks here. He's on a 3.8. He got hit first, so he does have his crit chance, which we didn't get, which is fine. So you get to see the Cell Juniors. But of course, you have to remember as well with the Cell Juniors, their worst turn RNG-wise is they're going to do a super and then an additional normal, and then that's it, right? So is that going to happen now? Did I speak it into existence? No, we got the hidden potential. See, that's the thing. With those links, once they start to get these additional supers, like links and support, they're up to 6.1 million. Well, that's not bad. It's just a bit of a shame that they don't have a really good Cell, like perfect Cell linking partner. Now, one thing that will be interesting is one of the upcoming, like the first set of Super EZAs, if they are doing those original type leaders after Super Sentai Goku, we have Full Power Frieza, one of them is Tech Perfect Cell. So, the Tech Perfect Cell, if he gets a really good Super EZA, then these guys will be really good on that team, like floating with him, like to support him. But of course, the problem with those Super EZAs is they don't upgrade their leader skills at all. So obviously that means the, you know, they're still going to be stuck until we get a new one of some kind. They're still going to be stuck with only this AGL Cell as a 200% leader. So then any other sort of artificial lifeforms team or build that you run them on, they're only going to be getting the 170% leader skill, which is of course certainly not the craziest in terms of overall performance and everything. Because there's, again, this is them on a 200% team. So all these turns where we've seen like just over a 4 million attack stat, that'll be under 4 million if they're on double 170 leads. So now we have the Cell, so we're going to change orbs. So we can use the comment. I haven't used this for ages. This should do quite a lot of damage considering we have the Cell Juniors. Let me go ahead and actually use this here. Been a while since I've seen this.
This is no game. Prepare yourself. You leaders shall be destroyed.
Oh, wow. Not bad. I mean, Incel is, well, he's got his EZA, but I was going to say he's pretty old at this point. Now, they have been sealed, which is kind of awkward. But we can grab these, and then we can get 9 orbs for Cell, which gives him, like, his full buff. So, but yeah, them getting sealed is super awkward, because it means no defense raise at all. They've got no support on the rotation. But that means we are basically relying on the 70% chance to dodge. Because, as I say, they don't get anything in their passive. They have no extra stat buff, like, when attacking. So if they're not getting supers, they're not increasing their defense at all. So we are just completely relying on that 70% chance to dodge in order for them to not get, you know, not take big damage. Not necessarily from this guy, because he's not the hardest hitting enemy. But, I mean, he could super them here and them not dodge. But yeah, there's the additional. We'd get a guaranteed additional because of Cell, but they're sealed. And then there's the hidden potential as well. So there's the 4 attack turn again. But unfortunately, with them sealed, they don't do much. Wow, look at Cell go. Remember, they share 1 link, which means Cell has 1 link active here. And that's a 17 million attack stat for him. That's, Incel can still kind of cook if you get him to transform. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and do this. But yeah, I mean, the Cell Juniors, I don't know what else we really need to say. We could get 1 more turn of them in here as long as we don't die on this turn, I guess. I mean, second form Cell not being the craziest unit, and in 16 not guarding. Not exactly ideal for us here. But yeah, I mean, the Cell Juniors seem okay. Their best role, as I say, is just going to be there to provide you support on an artificial lifeforms team, but you are very much going to be hoping, especially if you are using them in the difficult events, like for that Beast Gohan mission, you're just very much going to be relying on that 70% chance to dodge, plus any extra dodge you choose to give them in the hidden potential system, because when it comes to taking attacks, like even after getting a couple of supers, all they have outside of that dodge is just raw defense. So if they get a couple of supers, and even then that's only putting them up to like 450, maybe 500k defense, they're not going to be tanking attacks from like big bosses very well at all. So you can see here with the AGL cell, we do at least share 3 links, including Attack of the Clones, which is a very random link, but has an extra little chance to dodge as part of the link, which is kind of funny. So we'll do this, and then grab these for you, or this one for you, and grab these ones for you. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the Cell Juniors down below in the comment section. I do think they could make a very valuable support unit for that Artificial Lifeforms team, just because Artificial Lifeforms, not the craziest. Like some of the better Android units, like 21 and the LR Androids and stuff like that, they're not Artificial Lifeforms, because 21, 17 and 18 don't count as Artificial Lifeforms. So that team is kind of lacking some of the stronger Android options. So it is nice to have like a good floating unit that can provide support, has a good dodge chance. But yeah, like I say, at the end of the day, if they're not getting the dodge, then their defense is not particularly great. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how well they can do. So they're going to take... I wonder if they'll dodge this, because if not, how much would they take? They didn't. Yes, see, they're taking 100k from STR Nova, and that's on a 200% lead team, and STR Nova is not hitting as hard as like Beast Gohan or Gogeta, right? So if you're taking them in to do that mission, and they're on a 170 lead, and they're not dodging those big supers, then yeah, it is going to be GG. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. They certainly are an interesting EZA, much like the 16. They're obviously significantly better now than they were, because on both of them, 16 and the Cell Juniors, on release, I can't say I ever really used them very much. But let me know what you guys think of the Cell Juniors and their EZA down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.